Hello and thanks for tuning into this video. So this one is my sort of continuation of my series on basically kind of like a video manual on the Deluge. It's kind of as much for my knowledge as anybody else, because it means I have to go through the whole of the manual and learn how the whole thing uses, and it's also kind of a good reference point because there's very often I'll forget how to use my gear and I'll go and watch my own tutorials. So there you go. It's useful for me, if for nothing else. So we are now on to the song view. So we'll look at, I'll kind of make up a little song, which will be very dodgy, but I'll do that to sort of show you all the different bits we've got in song view. So first thing we'll do is we're going to load in a brand new song. So we've got a completely blank song in front of us. So when we first load in a song, the default setting is we have a 1 bar clip, and it takes us into the synth. So what I will do is I will put a dodgy bass line in, just do a simple kind of bass line. Okay, there we go. Amazing. Okay, so that is sort of our first clip. Which is the synth, which is 1 bar long. So if we go into song view, what it will do, we'll sort of reduce that down into one row here. If I press play, you'll see the white thing is sort of the playhead, and that's going round and round like that. So if I want to create a new clip, what I will do is I will press on an empty space below. Now there's two things we can do when we press. If we do a long press, it will create the clip for us, and it will keep us in song view, because you can see we've now got this new clip here. There is nothing in it, it's empty, so there's nothing lit up there. If I just get rid of that, and then if we do a short press, it will create the clip for us, and it will take us straight into the clip view. So for this one, I'm going to just stick some drums in. We'll do the 808, and we'll just put the kick drum in for now. If I go back into song view, you will see now I've put some notes in there. You can see we've got the content showed in this clip here. Okay, so just got the kick and our amazing bass line going. So as you've seen before, you can delete clips and add new clips. We can also reorder them. So let's say I create a new clip here and I put some random stuff in it, and I think, oh no, that's rubbish, I don't want that. What we would do is you would just hold down on it, press shift and delete, and it will be gone. We can reorder them. I'll wait till I've got a few more clips in, then I'll do the reordering thing. And then what we can do with our clips is we can launch them and stop them using these buttons down here, and we can also assign them to different sections, which again I will cover later on. Obviously we've got like 8 rows on the display here. If we've got more than that, let's just create a load of new clips. Okay, so once that's full, you're not limited to that. All you got to do is scroll down and create more. Okay, so then you're just scrolling up and down to find your clips where you want them. Okay, so you're not limited to any number. It's basically just how much the CPU can take once you've put them all in. And to be honest, I've never had an issue with that. I've had some pretty complicated tracks in here. Never had any CPU issues. Certainly better than ever had on my laptop. Right, so very exciting. Watch me delete all these tracks. Okay, we'll get rid of that one as well. So we've got back to where we were at first. Let's have a look at this row of pads down here. When they are green, that means they are armed, ready to play. If you tap on them, they will turn red, and that means they won't play. They're not armed. So if I want to start off with just the drum track playing, I would arm that. That would be green, that would be red. Press play, and that will start. Okay, if I want them both to start, I would have them both on at the same time. We can also launch and stop our clips while the song is playing. So what we'll do, I've just got everything at 1 bar at the moment, just to keep it simple. So if I press this launch pad button halfway through the bar, what will happen is it will wait until it gets to the end of the bar, and then it will start playing. So you'll see it flashes, and then it starts playing. You can see the white line is sort of the playhead going across. We can also set the number of times the bars loop through before it actually starts playing. If you'd notice, when I pressed that last time, we had a 1 flashing here. So while that's flashing, we can turn this dial and we can tell it how many times we want it to repeat before it starts. So for example, if we did it on 3, it will go through 3 times. You can see it's counting down, and then it will start playing. And basically the same thing happens with stopping a clip. If we want to stop, say, the drums, we press it part way through, it will flash, and then it will stop. Again, we have the same option with the numbers up there. So if I want it to go through 4 times before it stops, I would just turn that, and it will count down, and then it will stop. Okay, let's say we have, I'm going to make this bar, I'm going to duplicate this so it's 2 bars long. So if we look now, the sort of the views change slightly because we've got the top clip, which is the bass, is 1 bar long, and the drum kit is 2 bars long. So you can have all your clips can be all different lengths. It doesn't matter. And what will happen is the bit where it's not this bar here, it kind of blanks it out with these white pads. So if I press play now, what you'll see is get that going. The playhead for the 2 bar one, you can see is going right to the end. And that one's looping round. So that one's going to play around twice for 1 cycle of those. So it always stays in time. And when you're launching and stopping clips, it will wait until the end of that, the length of its loop before it stops. So for example, if I stop the drums, it will wait until the end of its 2 bars before it stops. Okay. Now when I launch it, it's only going to do it based on like one of the shortest clips playing. So it's not going to wait 2 bars, it will just do it based on this one. Okay, and this one will still stop based on its original length of 1 bar. Okay, so if you've got bars of different lengths, just be aware of differences that can happen with starting and stopping the clips. We can also instantly stop and start the clips. If you don't want to wait for the end of a sequence, because you might have like an 8 bar sequence or something, you don't want to wait for that to finish, you want to instantly start and stop it. All we do with that is hold shift and then press the button and it will instantly start and stop. Okay, like so. So I'll do soloing in a second. I'll get a few more clips in just so we can show you the soloing thing. One thing to bear in mind, if clips are using the same synth, the same kit or CV or MIDI track, you can only have 1 instance of that playing at the same time. There is ways of getting around it, which I will show you. So let's say my drums, okay, we've got the 808 kit there. If you want to know which each track is, you just hold your long press on and it will tell you up here it's 808 and it's 808 kit 2 and this is synth 1. You can actually change the kits on the fly while you're doing that. So let's say I want to audition some different bass sounds. I will just hold that down and I can scroll through different synth settings. Okay, so that's nice, just sort of, you know, if you want to audition different sounds and so on. I'll leave it on that one. Same thing with the drums. Okay, we're not getting a lot of variation because we've only got the kick in there. Let's just go back to the 808. Right, so let's say I want another drum part going. I can duplicate the one I've got. All I would do is hold it and press on the space below it and it will create a new instance of that track. Now that is basically another copy of that same drum kit, so we can't have them both playing at the same time. If you see what happens when I launch this one, it will stop that one. Okay, because it's another copy of that. So that is really useful for variation. So let's say on this second one I want to launch this clip and have the hi-hat in there. So I want it to stop that one and go on to my kind of second variation of it. Okay, and if we do the same thing with the bass, we can do a bit of variation on the bass. Let's just put some different notes in. I don't know, it's going to sound a bit dodgy, but we can then have... Okay, so you can see we can't have them both playing at the same time. Now if I did want another 808 kit in, what I would do is have to kind of create a fresh instance of it. So if I put an 808 in here, just by pressing 808, and I'm going to have to say just percussion on this one, we can have both the 808s playing at the same time because they're different instances of it. So where's my 808? That's that one. Okay, or we can go into the... Okay, so that's the way you would do it if you want to have the same kind of instrument or synth playing. You just got to create another instance of it. With that synth, it's slightly different with the synths. That was synth number 2. if I want to go and have another version of that same sound, it will actually create another synth for me and call it 2A, okay, which is the same one, which I won't do for now, just to keep matters simple. Right, so we've got a few tracks in here now. So, soloing. Let's just get a few of them playing. Let's have that one go. So let's say I want to just solo this like percussion part here. All I would do is hold this down and then press that, and it will flash and it will solo it, and you can see it turns blue when it solos. To unsolo it, we're just going to press it again, and again it will wait until the end of the bar. If you want to instantly solo, same thing but hold shift. Okay, and same thing for instant unsolo. So that's useful if you want to just hear one track. You can have more than one track soloed. So let's say I want to solo that one and that one. Okay, we can do as many as we want. Right, what else can we do? I've gone through, yes, we've sort of shown you how to change the instruments on the fly. We've covered deleting and we've covered cloning, which is where we press. One other thing actually on cloning the tracks is you can clone it, which is, as I showed you before, just a straightforward copy of it, but you can put them anywhere. So let's say the synth, if I wanted another instance of that to be down at the bottom, I would just press there. Let's just get rid of that one. If I want another instance of the synth to be straight below it, all I would do is press on there. So it will create the clip basically wherever you press. So if I want it to go there, okay, it will go there, and it will sort of create a space and shift everything else down, and will allow us to do that. We can also reorder them. So let's say I want this pink one to be down here with these pink ones. All I would do is hold on the clip, turn this dial, and you can see we can move it up and down and put it wherever we want it. Okay, so that's moved it down there. So we can reorder them however you want, basically however your workflow works for you. So another thing we can do is we can access sound parameters from the song view. So let's say this bass. Okay, so let's say I wanted to put some reverb on that bass. So one way of doing it would be to, which one's playing that one? Would be to click on it, open up the clip, and then we've got all our sound parameters up here. I can choose the reverb, and I can put it on there accordingly. Okay. Now, if you don't want to kind of keep going in and out of the views, we can still do that from the song view just by holding down. As soon as you hold down, all of these parameters up here become active, and we can do it from song view. So I can then put my delay in, got access to the filter, delay, and so on. Okay, so that's actually really annoying now. I'll leave it like that. So that's very useful if you if you want to do everything from song view. Obviously, you can't do, let's say on a drum kit, if I wanted to put like reverb just on one of the sounds, you would have to open the clip to do that, because basically what happens here is it kind of applies the effects to the whole clip. Because if you notice when you press on it, you can see effect entire is lit up, so it's only going to affect the entire clip, not individual sections of that. Obviously we can apply effects as well to the whole song. Again, to do that you would have to make sure that is lit up. So if I want to put reverb on the whole song, okay, we can do that from in here, or wanted to filter the whole song down, you would do it like that. Okay, and the final thing we'll have a look at then is song sections. Now this is really useful for live performance or studio as well, but I use it quite a lot in live performance. If you want to launch more than one clip at a time. Now you might have a song that's you want to launch 5 or 6 clips at one go, and if you're performing live you don't have to be pressing them all individually. That is where our song sections come in, which is this row of pads down here. So at the moment we can see we've got these top 2 tracks are in the blue section, and then we've got these 3 clips are in the pink section. So all you would do to launch the next section, let's just get that off there. See, that's playing blue. If I press just one of the pink pads, it will launch all the clips in the pink section. So we can go back to blue. So it's a really, really useful way of launching several clips in one go. Now, when you launch your sections, it will launch it based on the longest clip in the in the song. So it will wait for, this is the longest clip in this section, so it's going to wait for that clip to finish playing before it launches. So if I just show you that. Okay, so if I launch it kind of halfway through that first bar, okay, it's going to wait for that to scroll right to the end, and then it will launch. Okay, so again, it's just another thing to be aware of when you're launching your sections. If I hold down on the section pad, you'll see it says infin, which means infinity. So it basically means that that section will keep playing and playing and playing forever until we either stop it or we launch another section. And that is going to be the same down there. Now we can decide how many times that wants to play before it moves on to the next section. So you can kind of automate, for want of a better word, your sections. So let's say I want the first section to play through twice. All I would do is hold it down, turn this dial here to number 2. So what will happen is that will cycle through twice, and then it will automatically go to the next section. So you can see as soon as I start playing, the next section of clips is flashing. And we'll let that cycle through twice. And then bang, it's going to launch the next one. Okay, and you can have that for as many sections. If I let's just create some blank clips. I'll do 3 more down at the bottom. And we'll put these in a different section, because what will happen is it will put them in the section of the last clip. So all you can do is hold down shift and press on the button to change the colour. So we've now got those clips. Let's have that just going through once. We'll have that going through once. Oops. And we'll have that going through once. And then what will happen is we'll play that, then that, then that, and then the song will stop. Okay, so if we start with that. Okay, it's going to launch that one. You can see that one's now flashing. Okay, it will cycle through to the end of that, and then it will stop. And I think that's pretty much covered everything I wanted to cover on the song section for now. So if you've got any questions or comments about this video, then obviously stick them in the box below. Please click on the bell and subscribe, then you'll get notifications when I upload new videos. And if you've also got any questions or sorry, I should say suggestions for future videos, anything you want me to cover, then again leave those in the comments below. And if you're going to like electronic, acidy, ambienty sort of music, then check out my stuff. It's on Spotify and iTunes and all of that. Any plays on there are much appreciated. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.